is your first time. If you don't know, WSLR 96.5 exists just on the other side of that wall, right over there. Your local community radio station that provides a wide array of different types of programming, all different types of shows, and all the DJs are volunteer over there, which is really cool. So we have news programs, music programs, art beat. There's just all kinds of different shows. So we invite you to check that out. And do we have any members with us in the house tonight? Members of WS? All right, good. We're going to see our members. We want to thank our members. We had our big annual membership drive. And WSLR and Fogartyville exist on the support of our members and also on the by the support of our volunteers. So let's give a hand to our volunteers that are helping us out since the evening. The volunteers at the bar and at the door. Shelly, Dee in the box, and Doug back on sound, everybody. So it takes a whole team to put on the great shows that we have. If you don't know or if you're not aware, we just have so many different shows. I think this season we're on track, a record-breaking season of what I heard was, I think, over like 100 some different shows. Blues, funk, singer-songwriter, jazz, all kinds of different things. You can look in the middle section of your Critical Times newspaper, which just came out recently, and there's an old school schedule in there, and you can see all the kind of different shows. We have an open mic coming up, so just a lot of different things we invite you to check out. Really, really cool, kind of a hidden gem here. One of the things that we hear a lot from first-timers that they say, oh, I've been in Sarasota for a really long time and I never knew this place was here. And so we're trying to get the word out. And then the second thing they say is, this place is so cool, you know, I love that, you know. So we really want to try to change and help get that word out. So we invite you to tell a friend about us or bring a friend back to a future show. Tune in. If you're not local here in Sarasota, you can also listen on WSLR.org. So I'm going to be quiet and move on to our event that we have this evening, a very special singer-songwriter series. I am going to introduce our host for the evening, and he will be introducing our other special guests. We had a short sound check earlier, but it was very good, so we're in for a treat, and we're glad you're here with us tonight. So without further ado, would you please give a warm, warm welcome to the Fogartyville stage, our host for the evening, Mr. S.G. Wood.
Well, hello, everybody. It's really, really, really good to see you all. It's nice to have some folks that are out to hear some local songwriters, and that's what we are. And we write songs, and we need people to, like, sit around and listen to them, you know? And we're just so happy that you're here tonight. These are two of my friends that I've known for quite a while, and you know, I've you know, watched them grow as songwriters. You know, I feel like the granddad, the grandpa songwriter up here. But you know, I've watched these guys over the past few years, you know, kind of figure out who they are, you know, and you know, and how that affects them and how they write their songs and stuff, and Kip has actually been here before.
Yes.
What?
It's good to be back.
2 times?
2 times.
All right. So, but this is Rob Ossington, and he's a good friend of mine. He is the producer of my record, and
Available for sale.
a good friend, and an excellent guitar player, and I'm happy to be on stage with you guys, and let's get this thing going. All right. I'm going to start things off with a song from my record, which I put out back in August. And as I was saying, Rob he's kind of helped produce it. He was the engineer. We did it at his studio, and we put together this incredible band, and just kind of played these songs, and it was like effortless. I mean, we just kind of got out there, we played them, and it was magical and great. And so we recorded the record there, and it came out in August. And this song is called Blue Velvet Chair. A bed, a dresser, and a blue velvet chair is all that was left there on the curb of somewhere, in a place that you'd rather not be, staring down at a friend that you'll never see. But a bed, a dresser, and a blue velvet chair is all that was left there. In a town near a city with a 2-bedroom view, in a park, in a trailer, I'm thinking of you, and I pray that you're happy and free. Maybe sometimes at night you think about me. In a town near a city with a 2-bedroom view, in a park, in a trailer. No need to worry, God takes care of the sparrows, and there's no need for tears, 'cause change will come someday. But tonight, a feeling and a high lonesome tune covers like a blanket everything in the room. Pray that you're happy and free. Maybe sometimes at night you think about me. In a town near a city with a 2-bedroom view, in a park, in a trailer. Park in a trailer. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to start. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 27. What do you think what it is, Kip? Between 1 and 27.
13.
All right.
13 and a half.
Oh man. He's playing. It was 7.
All right. Does that mean I win?
That means you win.
All right.
All right, congrats.
Does that mean I get to go or I not get to go?
No, you're going to go. You're going to go. Now I'm just going to share a little bit about Kip. Kip is a friend that he used to come out to like open mics that I would host, and he used to. I remember he would say like I really like John Prine, and I'm just kind of starting to write, and he came out and he was just starting his whole writing process. And over the years, I watched him grow, and I watched him, he started taking it on more seriously, and he's been visiting the Austin, area, the Texas Hill Country area. The songwriters down there, they're just real deep songwriters, and he's been going down there on a regular basis and getting to know those folks and playing his music down there, and he's actually met some people down there, some friends that have been touring through, and he's been opening shows for them. Who did you open for?
I opened for Joe Pug when he was here.
All right.
I've been able to open for Slade Cleaves, he's an Austin legend, and Rod Picott. Slade and Rod have written a lot of songs together. Broke Down, you may have heard of that song.
Yeah.
I've had some really cool opportunities.
And all along the way, you know, I would hear him play his songs and stuff, and we finally, you and I, we played at the Crooked Thumb. We did a show together.
Yeah, that was an impromptu.
And it was, you know, we both woke up that morning and didn't know we were going to be playing together that night.
Yeah, I double booked us. On accident.
Well, we came up with something, and so you played your songs, and I kind of like joined along and played, and that was great.
Yeah.
And your songs are great.
Oh, thank you so much.
So without further ado,
Yeah.
Mr. Kip Kelly.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, like S.G said, I'm a big John Prine fan. I own Crooked Thumb Brewery up in Safety Harbor, and we just did our 5th annual, we call it A Crooked Piece of Time, the songs of John Prine. We do it on the anniversary of his death every year, so we've been doing it for 5 years now. And I had the opportunity to be on the radio the day before to promote the show and to play a few John Prine songs on WMNF with Marcy Finkelstein. And yeah, she's great. She's terrific. And play a couple of my songs and kind of talk about how his writing has influenced my songs over the years. And one of the things that as I was kind of thinking about what I was going to say to her, we were talking a little bit about his political songs and how he was never overtly political in his music, although he had clearly a perspective. And what he would do is he would take maybe an empathetic character and use that as a person to talk about his politics, or he'd use humor in his songs. And it made me think about a song that I wrote like really early on. It's as political of a song as I guess I get. We all remember the Sandy Hook tragedy, because we don't talk about it, you know. We kind of we don't want to. I get it; it's painful, but we keep having these mass shootings. And when that went down, my kids were really little. I had kids the same age as those kids, and so I was watching the news, and I was thinking about my kids and how some other dad had a same day as I had at the beginning, and then it went differently, obviously. But the big thing was I noticed the news really quickly went from talking about the victims and their parents to talking about the gun control debate, which I agree is very, it's a big deal. But I just felt like they just kind of too quickly skipped to making it a political discussion that we could fight about instead of taking the time to grieve. So that's kind of where this came from. It's called I'll See You Soon. I got up this morning, skies were all gray, to eat with my son, help him on his way to the bus stop and off to school. I kissed him goodbye and I told him I'll see you soon. In a faraway town, some man just like me, helping his own son decide what to eat, and he gets him on off to school. He kissed him goodbye and he told him I'll see you soon. Yeah, we both had a child, just 5 years old, always been good boys, do what they're told. Then it don't make sense, his boy never came home. And the images that run through my mind, that little boy's shoes and teddy bear shrine, get me too choked up to talk about gun control. Well, I came home early to be with my child, give him a hug, and look at his smile, and I thank God my boy was all right. We played out in the yard and we laughed and watched TV that night. Meanwhile, that other guy from that town, he came home early, his world turned upside down, and he prayed to God his boy was all right. He looked out in his yard when they called him. He started to cry. Yeah, we both had a child, just 5 years old. Always been good boys, they do what they're told. And it don't make sense, his boy never came home. And the images that run through my mind, that little boy's shoes and teddy bear shrine, get me too choked up to talk about gun control. Yeah, I got up this morning, skies were all gray, to eat with my son, help him on his way to the bus stop and off to school. I kissed him goodbye, but now I worry if I'll see him soon. Oh, thank you.
Gib Kelly. All right. Rob Austinton, good friend of mine, gifted musician. This guy can play like guitar. He's an amazing guitar player. He's also can play all the other instruments and is extremely talented. And he writes good songs, and he can write songs like he wrote an electric album. Now he's working on an acoustic album. You know, he kind of writes like that, different kind of little categories. But good writer, a good friend of mine, Rob Austinton.
Thank you, S.G. So this one is from my electric album, as S.G. talked about. Available over here. This is my discography. We have S.G.'s record we did together, and then this one. So those are the two I've made so far. Hope we'll add many more. This song's called Magic Girl, and I wrote it for my daughter. I don't like saying for like that because I feel like a song's about more than one thing usually, at least mine. They're usually about myself, even if I say I'm writing it for my daughter. But this is kind of my idea of a advice to your kid song, something like that. And she always loves playing with magic. We still watch magic on YouTube or whatever together. So this one's Magic Girl. You're a magic girl. You're anything you want to be, imagining the world you wanna see. You're in a magic place, dreams of a girl, imaginary world we long to see. Someday you'll understand that it's out of your hands. We're all trying to find a place to belong. We're figuring it out on our own, and terrified of being alone. I wish it was as simple as a secret code, but it's not easy telling and I never feel that I belong. I'm learning as I'm going along. Well, I can't tell you what's best for you, but only what I've been through. Try to keep the worst away. Nobody knows the steps to take, and I don't always have the words to say. But I'm your song on the radio, and FM goes for long ago. If you're listening, then you're not on your own. It doesn't matter that you're far from home. If you can hear me, then you're never alone. We'll try to leave below the tree, waiting on a summer breeze, a forest fire, marching feet to set us free. In every breath you breathe, now until infinity, you will always be magical. You will always be a magic girl. You're a magic girl. You're anything you want to be, imagining the world you wanna see. You will always be the magic girl. Thank you.
It's a song about my grandpa. He worked on the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Oh, I hate it. I don't like that. My granddad worked on the railroad, the Baltimore and Ohio. He dispatched trains with the heavy loads up and down tracks they go. He tapped out code on fast clock time, moving that freight on down the line. He always wore a brown suit and tie. Even when he worked at night, he carried his gold watch and chain. He knew the routes of every train. In the rain and snow, he tapped out code, so the locomotives knew where to go. Roanoke engine number 72. Take the Dayton Xer, then come on through. Depart Dayton at 6:14. Then head up north towards Bowling Green. There's one track open and 2 tracks down. Wait for clearance on out of town. Hannibal to Saginaw, whitewashed fences and a waterfall. My granddad said he'd seen it all, a twister from a pump car near St. Paul. He said us forward flares in the evening haze as we sat in lawn chairs on the old driveway. He retired, he took off his vest and locked his things in a roll-top desk. His watch stopped running and his knife got dull. He kept train pictures on the basement wall. He'd tell us stories every summer, though, of the Baltimore and Ohio. My granddad worked on the railroad, Baltimore and Ohio.
So I'm getting around to recording for the very first time. I'm going to put some music out into the world. Thank you so much. I'm nervous about it. I'm going to head up to Memphis. I got a really cool opportunity to work with somebody, and so I'm going to do it. So what it has made me do is had me think about a lot of songs. I've got a bunch of songs over the years, but none of them have ever been recorded. So I've been thinking about maybe going back early in the catalog, and so I've been kind of dusting off some of the early songs that I wrote. I got into guitar after my mom passed away, so the early songs, a lot of them were about her, and they were, I wouldn't say sad, but they were definitely, not happy, and so. I remember I played a few songs, and one lady told me one time, I think you're pretty good, but you need to play faster. And I said, well, you have to be good to play fast. This is as fast as I could play. And so I came up with a song about nothing. But the very first song I ever wrote, it's this next one. This is my very first attempt at writing a song. Yeah, and what I really like about it is when I first wrote it and tried to play it in front of people, I could not. I really struggled, and there was a lot of emotion. And now when I play it, there's still emotion, but it's manageable. And so that, to me, is a testament to my growth as a person, and so I enjoy playing it. I wrote this just after my mom passed away. It's called Mother's Day. woke up this morning, it was Mother's Day again. I thought about the past years when I had a card to send. But this year things were different. I had no one to call, 'cause her old house was empty. We cleaned it out last fall. I thought about the one year when I didn't send a card. She said that it was all right, though I know she took it hard. And I wish that I could go back to that Mother's Day, and I would write her a card, and I know just what I'd say. I know just what I'd say. My mother's love is special, it's the greatest love of all. But Mother's Day is the saddest day when you don't have yours to call. So I walk through my kitchen, I woke up both my kids. I had them write their mom a card, just like I wished I did. And when my daughter asked me, Daddy, why do you look so low? I told her, keep on sending Mom a card, so you won't ever know, 'cause you don't wanna know that a mother's love is special. It's the greatest love of all. But Mother's Day is the saddest day when you don't have yours to call. Mama, if you can hear me, and I sure hope you do, I'm sorry about the years I missed. I know there were a few. And if you were here today, I know just what I'd do. I'd be writing you that card, not writing this song for you, and singing a song for you. Mother's love is special, it's the greatest love of all. But Mother's Day is the saddest day when you don't have yours to call. Yeah, Mother's Day is the saddest day when you don't have yours to call. Oh, thank you.
All right, so this one is going to be from my next record that I'm finishing up that S.G. alluded to. So we made the Dude Waters record. We cut it live with the band in the studio, so we were all playing together, which isn't how they do things anymore. And I liked it so much that I stole the band. And then we made an acoustic record of my stuff. So this, we actually did the whole thing in 2 nights. And one night we had a piano player added in, and the other night it was just guitar, bass, and drums, but we just did it live in the room, looking at each other, which is the best way, I think. And I've sat on the recordings for over a year now, trying to get background vocals and little things done, but it's going to be out soon. We're finishing it up now. And this song from it, so I grew up in North Alabama. I don't have an accent, but that's where I'm from. And this one, it's about a lot of things, but I guess it's mostly a good friend of mine I grew up with got gravely injured and in a accident, drunk driving kind of deal. and he's like not okay. I hadn't talked to him in years. We were friends as little kids, but it was a strange thing to be in your 20s and have like your 8-year-old buddy or whatever is now kind of a vegetable. But I remembered a night in another friend's backyard laying on a trampoline with the girls we were pursuing, and that guy, and I hadn't seen him in a long time, and he happened to show up, and it was just all of us kind of laying there. So the song is like, I like to do this where I have a normal thing you write a song about like that, and then it's like a time traveler version of myself who has flown into the scene and is now giving little me advice. So that's what this song is. Midnight comes, you slip away, find yourself in the cold of night. Got my mind this time to say, I'm so glad to be lying here, that you're lying there, lying there. I did it, you're not supposed to stop. Lying there, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, thinking about those Alabama nights. Watch the stars, those planes fly by. You wonder what happened to those times. No amount of dreaming will take you back to where you wanna go, where you're from, where I'm from, to what I remember, to what I meant about Alabama nights. Alabama, don't let it bring you down. Tennessee Valley's no place for goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were a good friend. Time moves on. I wish you well. I know you carry on. Road ahead for you is rough, but you can make it. A lot of strength and a lot of love. You need a lot of love, a lot of strength, a lot of faith in those Alabama nights. Thank you.
So what we're going to do, one more song apiece, and that's 3, right? And then we're going to take a short little intermission, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do it all again. So that's where we're headed. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine on the phone, and we were talking about a venue that I play at on a regular basis. I do this funky thing. It's called live music bingo, I do it at Swan Brewing in Lakeland like every Tuesday night, and I've been doing it for years. And so like there are people that just come every single week, and you get to, it's like a little family. And so I was talking to one of these people on the phone, and they were trying to explain to me this other person that she knew that I knew who it was, because you know, we had seen each other, but we didn't know what his name was, and she was trying to explain who it was. She's going, you know that guy. He's like, that little taller, 6'5" or something. He's the guy. He's got the lesbian hips, and I just kind of stopped and said, well, wait, what? You know, lesbian hips. And I thought, well, what are lesbian hips? And so that just kind of got my mind going, and I thought, well, you know, maybe it is something. Maybe you know, it's not something that you just like say, you know, because it means something. And I went home and I looked it up in like all the urban dictionaries, you know, any like, you know, new language thing that I could find, and there was nothing for lesbian hips. So I figured that gave me a reason to write a song. So here's a song, and this is what I think lesbian hips is all about. All right. She had lesbian hips, was big and strong. He liked to run with the runners. He had a place of his own. She said, I'm going to bed. He said, I'll be back in a while. His old lesbian hips were grinding out in the hall. Ooh, ooh. She said, I don't want to bug you, but I do like your style. And those lesbian hips look like they'd walk for a mile. Said I'll wait until dark, and then I'll turn on the charm. Let those lesbian hips destroy kingdoms and thrones. Ooh, ooh. Nobody knows the way he feels when he sways. She watches him in the middle of his gaze. He watches her watching him. He gets up in the morning and he curses the dawn. His old lesbian hips have gotta work on the lawn. She said, I'll make you some lunch, and then we'll go to the pool and let those lesbian hips get a sunburn hue. lesbian hips. Lesbian hips. Thanks very much.
I feel like there was a Spinal Tap reunion. They would open with lesbian hips. Damn, S, you know, I had a script here. I got all these songs about death and gloom, and it doesn't seem appropriate now. I'm gonna go off script.
I'll keep the gloom
The
going.
wonderful
Yeah.
thing about it, you know, songs can be about whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any fun songs. Actually, I have one kind of fun song. So my daughter Claire, she's off to college now. And this was last fall. She's a freshman at UF, and yeah, go Gators. And so I had a gig shortly after taking her to school, and I was feeling very sentimental. And I've written some songs about her, for her, and so I got to the end of the gig where I thought the people that remained may have actually, you know, might want to listen to some of my own stuff. You know, it was a cover gig, and so I started playing some of my songs, and I saw that there was a couple by the bar, and the lady in particular seemed to be very focused on what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I felt confident enough to play some of my songs. So I told the story about how I came about coming up with the song that I wrote for my daughter, and I was giving a very heartfelt version of the song I felt. I had my eyes closed, and I was singing my heart out, and I sensed there was somebody like right in front of me, and I could smell the breath. And so I opened my eyes, and there was a really drunk guy, and he said, do you know any Zach Bryan? Like right in the middle of the song. So I was like, you know, I didn't want to stop the song, so I kept going. I kind of just like shook it off, like, no. And he goes, what do you mean you don't know Zach Bryan? And he goes, well, how about, he reached in his pocket and he threw a bunch of money in my guitar case. He goes, well, how about some cash? And at first I thought he was saying, how about if I paid you some money, would you then be able to do a Zach Bryan song? But then it occurred to me later that he was probably asking me to play a Johnny Cash song, which I don't know any Johnny Cash songs, shockingly. So I went home and I thought, you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll write my own song about that guy in a Johnny Cash style. Kind of, right? So that's what I did, and I came up with this song. This is called Some Cash. I was playing at a bar one night when a man walked up to me. He said, why don't you pick us a song that we all can sing? I said, what song would you like to hear if I could be so brash? He said, it's up to you, but if I could choose, I sure could use some cash. Well, I said, well, now that's funny, I was gonna say the same to you. 'Cause if you want a song from me, well, I could use a buck or two. Been picking out these songs, hanging on by just a laugh. So I'm with you, I think the two of us could use some cash to raise our spirits, maybe pay my rent. 'Cause anything I get tonight I know has all been spent. I hope and pray that one day I'll be a man in the block. But until the days I get that raise, I sure could use some cash. Well, it seems I can't escape from these financial prison blues. 'Cause I've been everywhere, from Detroit to Baton Rouge. Each town looks the same to me from my side of the tracks. It looks like more than just a few of us could use some cash. Cash to raise our spirits, maybe pay our rent. 'Cause anything I get tonight I know has all been spent. Hope and pray that one day I'll be a man in the black. But until the days I get that raise, I sure could use some cash. I sure could use some cash. Oh, thank you.
It was hard not to do the.
You should have done that.
All right. This one is the, I guess it's not the title track. So the album, the acoustic album I'm finishing up is going to be called Everything is Beautiful. And I like to be confusing, so that line is in this song, but the song's called Cross Stitch. So is that the title track? I guess it's where the title originates. This one, I wrote this, kind of fun. I need to talk to my friend to remember exactly, but a drummer I grew up with and I used to play with was asking me how to write songs or something like that, and he told me he had a dream, and then he described his dream to me, and then I was like, oh, that's easy to write a song about, and then I wrote this song, and then I was like, you can't have that. That's mine, but that's how you would do it. So I guess don't tell a songwriter your dreams, or they'll steal them. I think his dream was only the first verse, though. That's what we're gonna say. I know the second verse has a part about locust, and I had a memory of chasing them outside with my grandfather, so that's where that came from. And the last verse was cruise with my wife. So I've always thought of this song as like a movie, and each verse and section is like a scene from the movie, and then it switches, but I haven't figured out how they're linked together. So maybe you can figure that out. I guess everything is beautiful in the three scenes. That's it, basically. All right. So, except beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Used to dream of driving out of the southern states. Some it's that kind of life that I never felt in place. She said, quit complaining, look in another way. Handed me a postcard, read what you want, or what remains. I lost that postcard on the path that led to you, but I still remember it well. You can't forget those mountain blues. Everything is wonderful, it's often hard to tell. Every day is precious, you better use them well. Fireflies flying, I could hear the locust call. Memory of the moment, it's all but dead and gone. How can I explain something so pure and plain? Why do my memories always turn into pain? Light another cigarette, let the ashes burn, they fall. Sweep them in the corner, you don't have to look at all. Everything is beautiful, says the cross stitch on the wall. Every day is precious, you gotta use them all. still dream of sleeping on a boat out at sea. What a turning into gold, you right there next to me. Listen to that country music playing soft and sweet. Can't wait for tomorrow to see what it will bring. Light another candle till it's blown out by the wind. You were my companion, true love till the end. Everything is beautiful, it's right in front of me. Every day is fresh, a treasure to see. Thank you.
Well, thanks, everybody. We're going to take a short little pause, and then we will come back and do this all over again. So stick around if you care to. Don't forget, we've got stuff over here, product, Rob and I. So
The Capitalist.
come see us.
No, I know.
The merch bag or the merch suitcase. Wait till you have to carry that around with you for the rest of your life.
I gotta come up with a look,
Forget it.
right? What's that?
Yeah.
You gotta go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta come up with like a look, you know, and like a font, special font.
Oh, you haven't learned the joys of Illustrator and Photoshop yet?
I figure once I get like, you know, I get this record done and I figure out what it's gonna look like, all everything, I'll be able to.
Advice on the record front.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna hire an artist for your cover art situation, start on it now. Because what ends up happening, or like ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because you end up finishing the record and then taking like 2 months to finish that. Because it ends up being like, oh, we don't have good enough pictures, or oh, I need this, or what.
Like it, like a, since I can't decide, like, should it be like a picture of me, or should it just be more of a scene or just art, or you know, like,
So the thing is, like, it's decide what you want to do. I actually from trying to figure out records.
network and
Thank you, Shelley. All right, everybody, we're going to get ready to get started with the second half of our show. Please begin making your way back to your seats, finishing up in the restroom, making those last purchases, wrapping up those water heater repairs, anything else that you've decided to do during the middle of our very brief break. Wasn't that a great first set, everybody? Wow. Wow. We weren't joking. We were not joking. We knew the quality was going to be great. All right, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and fade out that music, if you could, for me, Doug. Thank you, sir. And we're going to welcome back to the Fogartyville stage our friends S.G., Rob, and Kip, whenever they are ready. So, would you please put your hands together and welcome back our featured performers this evening.
I will say I think they play the best songs on all the breaks and the lead in here. Whoever mixes the Pandora, it's got good taste.
Okay, we are back for round two, and so we're all going to play three more songs apiece, and I'm just going to say we could be a little more casual in that if somebody wants to do a little guitar noodling underneath, they totally could. You know, at least on my stuff, I don't know. You know, you and I have played before, and your comfort level on that stuff is, you know, you're still building.
I'm not a noodler.
So we can leave you alone if you want.
No. Have at it.
Okay. You know, I really thought that we sounded good the other day when we played. That's really great. So, I'm gonna open it up. Let's see, with another song from the record.
Which one?
This is a song about my car. For a little while, I drove around in a Nissan Versa hatchback, and it was my band vehicle. And I don't know, like if any of you have friends that are in bands and you know about band people drive around in minivans, band people drive around in Suburbans, you know, big vehicles. And I was just in a situation, had some life changes come along, and the car that I had to do my band gigs in was a Nissan Versa. So I managed to pack a PA, a guitar or two, and if it was like a travel gig, you know, like some clothes and stuff. So I was able to get all that stuff in there, and it was my vehicle for about 6 months, my band vehicle, before I got the vehicle that I have now. I have an Outback, and so it's really nice. But anyways, this is about my little white car, and it goes a little something like this. Little white car takes me there. Little white car got no spare. Takes me so far and so good. Little white car, it's understood that I can't get around without you. No, I twinkle bright star staring at me. I got a secret I just can't keep. If I tell you, can we both agree? Little white cars are right for me, and I can't get around without you. I can't get around without you and I, we've ebbed and flowed. We traveled down every twisted road. We both carry heavy loads. Little white car, white lines in a road, and I can't get around without you. I can't get around without you. No, I can't. Yes. Very nice job. So, Kip Kelly?
Yeah, all right. You guys can play along with this one. It's a tough key.
Perfect. We kind of cheated because we recorded that song together.
Yeah,
So.
I know. I'm from Northwest Indiana. My dad was a steel worker. Again, this is one of those early songs that I'm dusting off. But I kind of like this one. I didn't play it for a long time because I thought it was kind of, I didn't love the chorus. And then I got an opportunity to work with Daryl Scott. Does anyone know who Daryl Scott is? Right? I know I've had, I've been so blessed. I have no music out on the internet whatsoever. But I've had these just lucked into these situations where I've gotten to work with people or got to know people that are like really good and people whose records I own. And Daryl Scott's one of those. I did this workshop with him a few years ago, and he's from a town. He has a song called East of Gary, which is about Lake Station, Indiana, which isn't very far from where I'm from. And in it, he talks about how his dad was a steel worker, and I thought, you know, if I played this song, I think he would like it. And then he reworked the chorus with me, so I consider this a Daryl Scott co-write, if I ever do put it out. But yeah, I grew up hearing my dad tell stories about the mill as a steel worker and the racial tensions that were there. And what ended up happening is most of those mills closed. And then, in a weird twist of fate, the riverboat casinos all came to town, and in the areas where a lot of those steel mills were, and it took whatever was left of all those old workers' pensions and whatever they were able to save. So this is kind of their story. This is the Steel Town Blues. He came from an Indian town
where the mills were home if you weren't college bound. He went to work and he never got to choose. He had the Steel Town blues. Never home on Christmas Day. Time and a half is what the mill would pay. So he laced up those steel-toed shoes. He had the Steel Town blues. Off to work while he had the will, left with no other real job skill. It was all that he knew how to do. He had the Steel Town blues. He worked in coke plant number 9. Blacks and whites working side by side. Tensions were hot till someone blew their fuse. They had the Steel Town blues. The foreman didn't want a discrimination fight, so they gave in to the black man's side. He was told to leave and he couldn't refuse. He had the Steel Town blues. Out of work with no real job skill. That's the curse of those goddamn mills. Wasted days with cigarettes and booze. He had the Steel Town blues. Boss man said the pension was too high. They couldn't compete with foreign steel price. So once again, the worker would lose. They had the Steel Town blues. The steward said he was ready for the fight, but he gave in to the management's might. Why in the hell do we pay union dues? We got the Steel Town blues. Out of work with no real job skill. That's the curse of those goddamn mills. Waste the nights with cigarettes and booze. He had the Steel Town blues. Well, the mill would close, the river boats came. Low-paying jobs, risk-filled games. He'd put it on black if he had something left to lose. But he had the Steel Town blues.
Oh, thank you.
So this one, it's called Apropos of Nothing. And I don't know about you, but I can often end up in my head for a long time and then maybe realize 30 minutes or an hour has gone by where I'm just thinking about things around me or what's going on. So this song, the idea was thinking of, I was on a subway and looking at someone that's clearly going through something or not all there or something's up, and kind of quietly judging them or thinking like, I wonder what that's like. And then starting to think like, well, maybe they don't have to deal with the stress of life or all the day-to-day things because they're just floating around. But then in this song, I imagined someone else was looking at me, looking at them, but thinking the same thing. And then it kind of kept bouncing around where, everybody's silently judging everyone else for doing the same thing they're doing. So anyways, apropos of nothing. This is going to be on, if you're keeping track, not the acoustic record. My band, we have almost finished a studio album, and this is on it. And actually, if you're also keeping track, the take that's on the album is the first, and for a long time, the only time we played the song. I showed the band and we started it, and that was the take. So the first time.
Apropos of nothing, talks to himself. He's completely disconnected from reality. In your general direction, looking out the window pane, you wonder to yourself, how does a mind become that way? Languages are lost in the space between dreams. Somewhere in my imagination, I must know what I have seen. All the bitter-tongued bastards worn out, all the bitter-tongued bastards worn out gears of the machine. I've concluded they've deluded themselves into living miserably. Saturated with disaster, but who knows when it will be? It's my addiction to distraction, getting lost in fantasy. Oh, the devil on your shoulder, always living recklessly, getting into situations that excite his curiosity. Used to be so frightened. I used to be so frightened of everyone. I used to be so frightened of everyone. Many people walking along on busy city streets. On the subway, someone talking caught my eyes, but I broke free. Paper bag breathing, probably huffing gasoline. You could judge in condemnation, but he's happier than you've ever been. imagination. Welcome to modernity. What we want when we're alone is what we guard most carefully. I was standing on the corner, talking to myself. She looked in my direction and thought, I wonder what that guy is thinking. It would be so easy. It could be so easy. I used to be so frightened of everyone, but it could be so easy. So easy to slowly slip away, lost on endless city streets, cut off from suffering, the pain, taking ample satisfaction in the invisibility, then devoted to distraction. I think I found what I've been seeking. Apropos of nothing, she talks to herself. She's completely disconnected from reality. In a general direction, looking out the window pane, wonder to myself if she's found a better way. It's apropos of nothing.
I like that song.
Thank you.
That's a good.
It's a weird one.
All right. This song is something I wrote a while back, and it's interesting. It's about a goofy dream. Anybody hip to peyote?
Plead the fifth.
This song is about a dream. And it's called, oddly enough, Coffee Talk.
Years above the 2 of clubs, and I went out for coffee late one evening in my dream. We talked of love, we talked of blood, and gross misunderstandings, and all places we have been. Beelzebub took the fuss and said he always loses. So I announced I'd pay the bill. And I was lost behind that cross with nothing in my pocket, still breathing and holding on. Holding on, holding on. I was lost behind that cross. Beelzebub, the two of clubs, and I went out for coffee. Late one evening in my dreams, we talked of love, we talked of blood, and gross misunderstandings, and all the places we have been. Coffee talk, coffee talk, lots of places we have been. Coffee talk, coffee talk, lots of places we have been.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Kip.
I feel like such a fool. I have like
You know-
4 chords and a capo, and these guys are shredding, you know.
No, you know what though? I really like these kind of evenings where there are like a lot of different styles of writing represented. Like everybody's not, we don't all sound the same, you know, and that happens sometimes, and those can be real long nights for the people that are in your seats right now. So I think variety sometimes just helps you stay stimulated and appreciate, you know, the songs a little bit better. So go ahead and do your thing, my friend.
There would be few chords in this song. I think I said earlier I'm from Northwest Indiana. Do we have any Hoosiers here? Probably not. No Hoosiers? We do? All right, good. Welcome. So my ma, she had this little Chevy pickup truck. It was a little black, I think it was like a S10 maybe. And she used to drive it down from Indiana, and she would bring me a bunch of shit that I didn't want. And she would pride herself on how just perfectly she could pack the bed of the truck, you know, with a bunch of stuff. And it was just my mom, my sister, and me growing up. My parents divorced when I was like a year old, and so we didn't have very much. And I remember one time I came home from school, my sister and I came home from school, and we had bedroom furniture for the very first time. We never had that before. And I remember I got a headboard, and I got this big bookshelf, and I remember my sister got the desk, which kind of bummed me out because I thought that was the coolest piece. but she was older, so she got what she wanted. And so I got this thing that my mom told me was called a high boy. I've never heard of that before. It was basically like an armoire or dresser that had a cabinet up top, and it had 3 drawers below it. And I mostly remember it because I used to steal baseball cards when I was a little kid, and I would hide them in there. Well, on one of these trips down in this little truck that she had, she I don't know how she did it, but she got that high boy in the back of the truck, and she pulled up into my garage or my driveway, and I was like, oh shit, we got work to do here. So I took it off. We took it off the back of the truck together. We put it in the middle of my garage, and it sat there for about 3 years. Yeah. And my wife at the time told me it was time to clean the garage. And I went ahead and I cleaned it, even though she used to be my wife. I still did it for her. But anyway, I was conflicted because I thought, my mom and I took it off the truck together, and that's where we put it, and now I got to move it, and I didn't want to. But I kind of thought it was time, so I moved it off to the side. I stood there where it had stood, and I thought about that dresser, and I thought about all that it stood for and all that my mom had to sacrifice to fill it for me when I was little. I came up with this song called The Dresser. In my garage, there's a sturdy old dresser Mom bought when I was a kid. Used to protect all of the things that she bought me and hide all the things that I hid. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave me and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back. Well, I'd ride my bike to the old Ben Franklin, the local 5 and dime. Baseball cards sold at 8 packs a dollar. Sometimes I would take 9. I'd hide those cards in that sturdy old dresser and hope that nobody heard. But she'd find them and put them right where I could see them without ever saying a word. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back. Now when I look at that sturdy old dresser, I think of those days and those nights, and how it was used to teach me the difference between what is wrong and what's right. And though she's gone and she can't tell her stories, no longer walking this earth, I still feel her love and she's still giving lessons without ever saying a word. The top drawer, it had no jewelry. Its value was greater than gold, filled with the love that she gave me and the lessons from the stories she told. The next drawer had the clothes that she bought with all of the money she lacked. The last drawer could never be empty, 'cause that had the shirt off her back. Oh, thank you so much. That was as for Kel, my mom. She was a super cool lady. She rode a Harley and she grew weed in our backyard. Yep, I don't know how it went down in your little towns when your moms all grew weed in the yard, but in Highland, Indiana, the plainclothes police officers come and they pick the garden clean, and nobody gets in trouble. At least that's how an 8-year-old remembers it.
That was nice. I'm not going to play this song, but I have one you reminded me of called Love Fades. And it's about, well, my parents they got divorced in their 60s, and it was really tumultuous, and we were getting rid of the kitchen table. And it also is a furniture theme of the kitchen table you no longer need, where you celebrated and made memories. That was my line. Here's his little nice.
John Prine said when he got divorced, he bought a train set and he nailed it to the kitchen table because he could.
Nice. So I tend to write, or I think of albums as themes about a subject. So Masks, my one over here, is all about finding your identity and your place. And all of those songs, in one way or another, it's not on purpose, but I just, suddenly a group of songs feels like they fit, and then I realize, looking at them, oh, these are all dealing with these themes. And the kind of folky record we've talked about, Everything is Beautiful, that's all about family and appreciation and kind of looking back where you're at. And this other one I'm working on is called A Believable Lie, and that's with my band. So this song's from that, and the last one we just heard, Apropos Nothing, was from A Believable Lie. And this song's called Wisdom of the First Punch. And all of these songs on this group are about these kind of lies you tell yourself, or the way you process reality. And it may or may not be how it actually is. This one, it's one of those, I haven't entirely absorbed what I think it's all about, but one of my best friends, I was visiting him in Boston with my wife and his wife, were all good friends. And they were getting ready for us to go to dinner. And of course, I make a really cool guitar lick while we're trading guitars back and forth. And so then I could only think about this. But a lot of this song has to deal with kind of those ideas, but then at the end, it's summed up by, I've always imagined it as like an alien coming to the ruins of Earth and telling us what went wrong. So it's like in the future, talking about the hour of man and these problems that all of us had that lead to the end. But they have, they name different eras, you know, and they've started, there's an argument on whether or not humans have damaged the environment enough to make our own, which they call the Anthropocene. And I was very proud of myself for being the first, as I am aware of, songwriter to have used Anthropocene in this song. First punch, knowing what you want. The illusion of self-control. You're better off letting go. We distort and divide ourselves in the search for something real. Your lies aren't lies, the sword cutting up your memory.
see that you believe. You've convinced yourself of an alternate reality, a personal fantasy, dabbled in veracity, victim of conspiracy. I don't think you can see anything that's real to me. Our history is vulnerable when written with the sword in the hand. We're utterly nonsensical. It's taken years to understand who I am. The wisdom of the first punch, knowledge bought with blood on the hand. Now I can understand. You don't have to overthink every plan. Dying somewhere bright, blood on your chest, on your fingertip, taste on your lip. In the hour of man, struggled with identity, never reached his destiny, occupied in vanity, always acted certainly in the face of uncertainty, leading to the end of the Anthropocene.
Thank you.
All right. We have one more song apiece. You got something up your rolled up sleeve there?
I do.
Go ahead.
Was it my turn? All right. I didn't know it was my turn. I'm going to use this thing because I haven't used it all night. So this song was inspired by a helium balloon that my son lost at the Safety Harbor Wine Festival one year. Both kids got helium balloons, and my son was really little at the time. So I told him, I said, make sure you hold on very tightly to the ribbon, because I do not want the balloon to blow away. If anyone has ever seen a child witness a balloon leave or pop or something, you know that they are devastated, and it was going to be a big problem for me. So I said, please hold on very tightly to the ribbon, and he did. He did a great job. We got all the way to the car after walking the street for about 20 minutes, and right before we got in the car, the balloon blew away. And he predictably was devastated and was crying, and I felt terrible for him because he actually held on to the ribbon, and but whoever tied the other side to the balloon didn't do nearly as good of a job, right? I know, it sucks. And so the balloon blew away, and the ribbon went limp over his bony little forearm, and he could not process it. So I let him cry for about half the ride home. And then I was like, okay, enough. It's time for some dad wisdom. And I thought this might be an opportunity to teach him about learning to let go of things, quite literally. And of course, as a good dad, you can't lecture one child while the other child sits there in the back seat getting away scot-free, so I had to pull her into the discussion, my daughter Claire, and I told her, well, you need to start taking some chances, being bolder. And I was out at the marina one day. It was a particularly windy day, And I was thinking about that balloon blowing away, and I thought about those 2 lessons I was teaching my kids about learning to let go and learning to take chances. And I thought, well, shit, those are 2 things that I need to learn. It's amazing how, as a parent, you learn so much in your lectures of your kid to your kids. And so I'd been dealing, obviously, with my mom passing, and I thought, well, maybe it's time to let it fly. This idea of letting it fly occurred to me, which I thought captured both those lessons and that balloon blowing away. So this is Let It Fly. A young boy came to me, he said, Dad, can you help me? Stand by my side. My new balloon, you see, it might fly away from me if I go outside. Well, give your hand to me, I'll tie it so carefully it won't blow away. But if it should, do not cry, all that we find in life we give back someday. So let it fly, let it fly. It's easier said than done, I won't deny. Let it fly, let it fly. It's how we reach for new heights and we say goodbye. A young girl came to me, she said, Daddy, can you help me? Too scared to try. Whatever's been asked of you, and whether you win or lose, it's for you to decide. But if it were up to me, I'd do it so faithfully and no other way. So chest out and chin up high, 'cause things you let pass you by will haunt you someday. Now let it fly, let it fly. It's easier said than done, I won't deny. Let it fly, let it fly. It's how we reach for new heights and we say goodbye. A woman came to me, she said, son, can you help me? And I'm just too tired. It's not gonna be too long, will you please play me a song that I've long admired? But how's my life gonna be? You've always been there for me each step of the way. She said, take the love you have for me and share it with all you see every day. Just let it fly, let it fly. It's easier said than done, I won't deny. Let it fly, let it fly. It's how we reach for new heights and we say goodbye. Kip Kelly. Thank you so much. You're a great audience. Thank you.
All right, Rob. All right. I'm going back and forth on which one I want to do. Got a nice little pop song or another one of my I think I'm going to do the more epic one. I've been doing all those tonight. I don't know, what do we want to hear? Do you want to hear a pop song or another multi-piece? I want both. I'll do, yeah, they're different tunings. So this one is called Reliable Narrator. It was a different song that I stole parts of. So, but I was left with this idea of a reliable narrator. And I think of it as kind of, I don't know, the instructions for how to start your own cult, maybe?
What's it called?
Reliable narrator. That's it.
The best intentions of man, they just don't understand. They're deluded and they're hypocritical. They've divided themselves in oppositional camps. Can't see fractions are still numbers after all. They long to be led by the smallest of men, who constantly must prove that they are strong. They're easily fooled, deluded and ruled. You can conquer without evidence at all. If you've got the trick up your sleeve, gather a group dumb enough to believe everything they hear. They've traded logic for irrational fear. They question without questioning, but you don't have to be reliable narrator. There is no doubt in my mind, you don't have to be like that. We create the world a witness. It's never too late to start again, if you want to start again. If you want to start again. There are no more books to be written. Every story has been told. So give up the ghost and admit it. It feels like spinning out of control. Spinning out of control. Control. Spinning out of control. Spinning out of control. So
Reliable
Wow, awesome,
narrator.
Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, I want to thank you guys for sharing the stage with me tonight. I've enjoyed, just hanging out, playing music with you guys. I'm going to shut it down with something that's it's a little bit lighter, and it's a song that I wrote, and it kind of evolved into this is a crowd participation song. All right, and it happened very, very organically, but in order for it to come off the best way, I'm going to tell you what your parts are. Okay, so what I'll do is I will play the song through the chorus, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to tell you guys what I want you guys to do the rest of the song out, and this will be our last song for the night. All right, so if you guys help me, help you, help ourselves, we'll be helping. It's going to be wonderful because we're helpers. All right. So this song is all about this song is all about somebody who was a jerk, and somebody left that somebody, and then he spent all his time eating alone at the diner. So it's a sad song, but we're gonna make it happy, and you'll see how. You'll see how. The music, it's one of those songs, this is one of those songs that's about a sad thing, but the music is so happy. So this one, it goes a little something like this: me, myself, and I. Now it's just me, myself, and I, that's right. Sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. The after hours crowd rolls in. They're all pointing, smiling again at me, myself, and I, that's right. All right, so I'm going to sing. Now it's just me, myself, and I, that's right. And then you guys go, that's right, that's right, that's right, and do it with authority, all right? And then I'm gonna sing, sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. And you guys go, Saturday night, Saturday night, Saturday night. And we'll be golden the rest of the song, all right? So if you guys do those parts for me, and I would suggest that somebody film this because you're gonna want to put this on Facebook, all right? I'm just telling you, this is gonna be amazing. You guys ready? Here we go. Now it's just me, myself, and I, that's right. Hey! Sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. The after hours crowd rolls in. They're all pointing and smiling again at me, myself, and I, that's right. I lost my baby, didn't treat her right. I drove her crazy, and all we did was fight. I made a mess of everything. That's when she stopped wearing a ring. She's on my mind, but now she's out of sight. Now it's just me, myself, and I, that's right. Uh-huh. Sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. The after hours crowd rolls in. They're all pointing and smiling again at me,
My days are lonely and my nights are too. My one and only left me sad and blue. I get off of work at 2. I'll stop and get a bite like I always do, and wish for things that I know can't come true. Now it's just me, myself and I, that's right. Woo! Sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. The after hours crowd rolls in. They're all pointing and smiling again at me, myself and I, that's right. All right, Rob, come on, go around the block for me. Just me, myself and I, that's right. Hey, sitting in a diner at the counter on a Saturday night. The after hours crowd rolls in. They're all pointing and smiling again at me, myself and I, that's right. Woo, yes, I be myself and I, that's right. That be myself and I. That's right. Thank you very much, everybody. We have had a great time here tonight. Thank you, Kip. Thank you, Rob. Thank you all. All right. Have a great rest of your night, okay? Take care. Don't forget, we do have some product down here if you want to pick up a T-shirt, an album, or a CD or something. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. One more time, let's give it up for our amazing performers this evening, Sir S.G. Wood, Kip Kelly, Rob Osmondson. Thank you. Have a great night from Fogartyville. We'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you very, very much. Really good.
Thank you. You too.